This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 741. Power Up Your Muscle Building Potential, Part 1, by Bach with RomanFitnessSystems.com. And I'm your narrator, Dr. Neil. Happy Monday and welcome to another edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I read some of the best blogs covering health and fitness, just like an audiobook. Now, today's post is a bit on the longer side. It's longer than what I typically narrate. So I'll read the first half today and then finish it up for you tomorrow. So for now, let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Power Up Your Muscle Building Potential, Part 1, by Bach with RomanFitnessSystems.com. People that kick in the gym usually do two things in training. First, they train to improve performance, drive up strength, speed, and conditioning. And second, they use specific hypertrophy work to support their training to look awesome naked. Problem is, most people treat aesthetics and athleticism as mutually exclusive training components. It's as if you can't look awesome naked and be a great athlete at the same time. Well, that's save for the high-level bodybuilder, your training methodologies don't need to be all that different. In this article, I'll break down how training for power drives improvements in your ability to build muscle, helping you look and perform like an athlete. Imagine you're in the gym. You just wrapped up your warm-up and are preparing to squat first in your session, watching two separate lifters finish up in the racks. Lifter A, we'll call him Albus, is knocking out 3 or 4 fast, full-effort repetitions. His sets are brief, explosive, and honestly, don't look too brutal, despite decent weight and fast rep speed. Lifter B, Barry, is grinding through a set of 10 squats, struggling and squirming like a teenager watching 50 Shades of Grey with his mother. Despite his disgruntled expressions and obvious effort, who is doing more high-quality work, explosive Albus or grinding Barry? While Barry is using more reps and appears to be under more anguish, Albus is nailing each lift with full speed and intensity. More importantly, by focusing on explosive rep quality, he's recruiting more muscle units and maximizing nervous system stimulation on each rep. When it comes to building muscle, too many lifters focus simply on qualitative outcomes like training volume, load or reps, over rep quality, and optimal execution. While training volume is a vital component of muscle building, a periodic focus on explosive rep quality and maximal motor unit recruitment maximizes your ability to build high-performance muscle. The nervous system and your muscles. At the expense of losing your attention, I'm going to keep this as simple as possible. Your nervous system has 2 parts. The central nervous system, which is composed of the brain and the spinal cord. Then there's the peripheral nervous system, which is all the remaining nerves and ganglia outside of the brain and spinal cord. Together, these components control both unconscious and conscious activities throughout your body. To apply things to weight training, motor units consist of one motor neuron and all the muscle fibers it stimulates. When a signal is sent from the nervous system and activates the motor unit, all the muscle fibers innervated by the motor unit are stimulated and contract. Your muscle. Fibers are composed of bundles consisting of few to thousands of fibers. Basically, small muscle fibers end up in small bundles with small motor neurons, whereas big fibers end up in bigger bundles with big motor neurons. Small bundles are responsible for small, finite movements that don't generate much power, as if you were reading this article on your laptop. On the flip side, big muscle fibers like the glutes and hamstrings perform explosive, powerful movements such as sprints or squats. Rather than hammer endless terminology into your head, the basics are this. Each motor unit consists of a bundle of muscle fibers and a motor neuron. Small fibers are in small bundles and are in control of smaller, finite movements. Large muscle fibers are in bigger bundles to generate maximum power and strength. Maximizing motor unit recruitment. In 1965, Harvard physiology professor Dr. Elwood Henneman released an awesome study on the important function of motor neurons. More specifically, his team found that smaller motor neurons require less input than bigger motor neurons, correlating directly with the size of the motor unit. Furthermore, muscle contractions begin with small motor units and recruit larger motor neurons based on the size of the input needed to cause a movement. So here's the cut and dry version. Low-level input from your brain recruits small motor neurons and muscle fibers, like hitting the down arrow as if you were reading this on your laptop. High-level input recruits larger muscle fibers for more force, like picking up your laptop, putting it in your bag, and stepping up out of your seat. Taken into the context of training, when you unrack a weight that is 95% of your 1 rep max, your nervous system goes into overdrive, sending massive signals to your body to increase muscular recruitment. Motor neurons and virtually every other nerve in your body are constantly receiving information from other nerves, such as the descending neural tract from your brain. As a result, your nervous system becomes supercharged, recruiting more muscle fibers to execute the near max squat. That means lifting heavy all the time is best, right? Not quite. Ask anyone who's put themselves through high volume, high intensity training for years, and you'll get an earful on how you can't lift heavy each and every workout. Your nervous system, joints, and tissues would start screaming at you before too long. Luckily, there are 2 ways to maximize force when lifting. 1, lift heavier weights, and 2, lift lighter weights or move your body faster. Increased neural drive and getting yoked. Per the heavy squat example I just mentioned, it's easy to extrapolate that increased neural drive and motor unit recruitment is imperative to building strength, or a surefire way to build muscle and work capacity. But you already know that getting stronger builds muscle, so I'm going to take it a step further. To maximize muscle building, the nervous system needs to be fired at full speed to maximize fast twitch muscle fiber recruitment. After all, you can't train the muscle fibers that aren't turned on. Increasing neural drive from heavy or explosive action improves muscle unit recruitment during the remainder of your workout, stimulating a greater number of muscle fibers for more growth. Power building methods. Hear that on tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled Power Up Your Muscle Building Potential by Eric Bach with RomanFitnessSystems.com. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. When folks want to build muscle, here's what I often tell them. You can't really rely on protein supplements or really any other supplements because you have to create a demand for muscle growth. Without working your muscles, you don't create a demand for any growth or hypertrophy. Now, what's the best way to increase the demand for muscle growth? It's, of course, doing resistance training. Whether it's heavy lifts, as Eric mentioned in this article, or even body weight exercises, you have to make the muscles crave growth and help to support that growth. That's where your diet and consuming enough protein and things like that come into play. And so what Eric is talking about here is maximizing that demand. But notice, he didn't say that you have to lift heavy every single workout. That would be damaging to your body. Instead, we want to mix things up. And we're going to hear more about that on tomorrow's show. And really quickly before I go, be sure to check out and subscribe to our other shows if you enjoy this one. You can hear a lot more topics being read to you for free. Just search for Optimal Living Daily in your favorite podcast app or on Spotify to find the others. Thank you as always for listening today. Thank you for listening every day. I'll be back here tomorrow to finish up this post. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this show and Optimal Living Daily, the brother podcast of this one. Literally, I'm Dr. Neil's brother. If you like the format of this show, you'll love Optimal Living Daily too, where I also read to you from blogs, but cover other topics like personal development, finance, and minimalism from bloggers like Derek Sivers, The Minimalists, Zen Habits, and many more. So for more amazing content read to you for free, come subscribe to Optimal Living Daily too, and together, we'll optimize your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Health Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com. That's oldpodcast.com for a free gift, as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.